Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. For the past 2 years, AI circles have been buzzing with an exciting story. The AI revolution is gonna hit super fast. First, AI writes code and replaces tons of programmers. Then, it starts doing AI research, improving itself. Soon, data centers will be full of virtual researchers who never sleep and work way faster than humans. Eventually, they'll design better chips, robots, and medicines, basically automating the whole physical world. If this chain reaction works, the economy should explode like crazy. That's what a lot of people in Silicon Valley believe. It sounds impressive, and it's not totally fantasy. Today's AI really is making progress in coding, research, medicine, and self-driving cars. But here's the million-dollar question. If AI is so powerful, why haven't we seen massive productivity explosions and crazy economic growth yet?
That I've come up with that I think is really helpful is weak links. Right? A chain is only as strong as its weakest link. And let me give you the application of that to business. Right? Business success requires completing many, many tasks successfully. Right? So if you want to release a new version of the iPhone, you have to design it. You have to source all the parts. You have to get it manufactured. You have to make sure the manufacturing is within very, very exact tolerances in every place. You get one thing out of place, the whole thing falls apart, right? Once you've manufactured it, you have to figure out how to get it delivered in a timely fashion. Hundreds of millions of iPhones delivered, every fall. You have to handle the retail, the advertising, et cetera, et cetera. If any of these tasks falls down, then a lot of the value gets lost, at least in the short term. Okay, and that's what a weak link model is, right? And so the Space Shuttle Challenger, right, explodes because a $25 rubber seal, the rubber O-ring, fails. One small part fails. Or you think about ASML and TSMC, the manufacture of these computer chips with machines that are just incredibly complicated, with precisions that are just incredibly tight, right? One little error there, and your chips don't work, right? Turns out there's a very simple, elegant formula. Because of weak links, infinite amounts of some task raises GDP by that task's share of GDP. Software is about 2% of GDP. If we had infinite software, we'd be 2% richer, right? Why only 2%? Because all the other weak links are bottlenecking us. Okay? And so this sort of makes you realize automating one thing really well is not enough. What you need to do is you need to keep automating the weak links. Right? Now, what happens in the long run depends on these details, the Leo Messi example. Growth explodes, but still the explosion is not nearly as fast as you would have thought when I said the word explosion. Right? And that's the weak link thing. So those are the things that I think are going on. Notice, why does it explode even with weak links? Well, eventually we automate away all the weak links. And then this flywheel effect really takes over, and that's what's giving you the explosion.
Stanford economist Chad Jones has a brilliant and simple explanation called the weak links theory. A chain is only as strong as its weakest link. Business is exactly like that. Launching a new product isn't just about writing code. You need design, part sourcing, manufacturing, quality control, logistics, sales, and customer support. If any one link breaks, the whole thing flops. Semiconductor manufacturing is the perfect example. You can have the fanciest machines and best designs, but if yield rates, packaging, or other processes fall behind, nothing works. TSMC's real superpower isn't one machine. It's making the entire complicated chain run smoothly at scale. AI can suddenly make some parts super strong, like coding, writing text, or image recognition. But the economy isn't a single task, it's a long chain. Making one link 100x better doesn't automatically make the whole system 100x better if other parts stay slow. That's why your phone has 1 billion times more computing power than 1970s machines, but researchers are 1 billion times more productive. Computers crush calculations, but humans still decide what questions to ask and what the results actually mean. Even if AI completely automated software engineering, Chad says GDP might only grow by about 2% in the short term, because software is just one small piece of the economy. Messy processes and bad data would still drag everything down. History shows the same pattern with electricity, engines, semiconductors, and the internet. They changed the world, but it took decades for the full impact to show. So yes, AI could eventually bring huge growth, but it might take longer than Silicon Valley hopes. We'll need to fix all the weak links first. This framework also helps with the job question. The real issue isn't will AI replace this job, but how many tasks in this job can AI take over? And are the remaining ones still important? Radiologists are still thriving even after AI hype because they do way more than just read images. But for Uber drivers, self-driving cars could replace most of their core tasks, though even that has proven much harder than expected due to weather, regulations, and public trust. Recent surveys reveal a striking reversal in corporate attitudes toward AI-driven layoffs. Up to 55% of executives now admit that cutting jobs in the name of AI automation was a mistake. Meanwhile, roughly 1/3 of HR leaders have begun rehiring for positions they had previously eliminated, citing AI as the reason. Many large enterprises that once aggressively downsized, believing AI would dramatically reduce labor costs, are now quietly bringing employees back. Ford, for instance, has rehired 350 senior engineers over the past 3 years specifically to address quality issues in vehicles that automated systems failed to detect. Ford's vice president of vehicle hardware engineering openly acknowledged that the company had wrongly assumed high-quality products could be produced simply by feeding design requirements into AI without experienced oversight. The returned engineers have now taken back control of the AI tools, leading debugging efforts and ensuring standards are met. CEO Jim Farley noted that this move has already saved the company hundreds of millions of dollars in warranty and recall costs. Similarly, Australia's Commonwealth Bank cut more than 40 customer service positions last year and introduced AI voice bots. The technology proved unable to handle the volume and complexity of inquiries, resulting in a surge of customer complaints. The bank ultimately reversed the layoffs, admitting it had not fully considered the operational realities when announcing the cuts. At IBM, an AI system implemented for HR functions successfully handled about 94% of routine requests. However, the remaining 6%, cases involving ethical judgment and complex human considerations, expose the limits of full automation. In response, IBM announced plans to double its hiring of entry-level employees across U.S. business units in 2026. These cases are not isolated. Data from recruitment firm Robert Half shows that nearly 1/3 of U.S. hiring managers who previously eliminated roles due to AI have since brought back the original staff or recreated similar positions. A report by software company OrgView further indicates that 55% of executives who oversaw AI-related layoffs now consider those decisions to have been wrong. This widespread shift in corporate thinking reflects several fundamental challenges AI faces in real-world deployment. First, there are clear limitations in handling complexity and ethical judgment. As seen in IBM's experience, AI excels at repetitive, rule-based tasks, but struggles when human experience, empathy, or moral reasoning is required. Second, the actual cost of AI is proving far higher than anticipated. Many companies cut staff to fund AI investments, only to discover that computing expenses often exceed the salaries of the laid-off workers. Uber's chief technology officer revealed that the company burned through its entire 2026 AI programming budget in just 4 months. In one notorious case, a major company received a $500 million AI usage bill in a single month after failing to set proper spending limits. A study from MIT further highlights that only about 23% of positions automated with AI currently deliver genuine economic benefits. For the remaining 77%, employing humans remains more cost-effective. Third, early experimental results were often overly optimistic. An Emergent survey found that around 20% of U.S. executives admitted the AI deployment reports they received were more positive than reality warranted. Many failures were downplayed or concealed by staff. Yale University senior researcher Enrique S. noted that CEOs' discussions of AI capabilities and expected returns in earnings calls always sound impressive, but the actual widespread economic application of the technology is proving far more complicated. As enterprises repeatedly encounter setbacks in practice and public anxiety over potential mass unemployment grows, even major tech leaders are softening their tone. A year ago, warnings about AI eliminating large numbers of jobs dominated industry discourse. Anthropic CEO Dario Amodei had predicted in 2025 that AI could wipe out half of entry-level positions. This year, however, his message has become more measured, emphasizing that companies can use AI to accomplish more with the same resources, provided human creativity remains central. OpenAI CEO Sam Altman recently acknowledged that while the industry's technology forecasts were largely accurate, predictions about social and economic impacts were wildly off. He stressed that the importance of keeping humans at the center had been underestimated. Notably, companies that have been most aggressive in adopting AI are often also the most active in hiring. Forward-thinking companies are now rethinking their talent strategies. IBM's Chief Human Resources Officer, Diane Gerson, reflected at the recent Charter AI Summit in New York, "If we don't continue investing in entry-level talent, what will our talent pipeline look like in 3 to 5 years? It will dry up and eventually disappear." A report by AI advisory firm Intuition Labs echoes this view, warning that organizations focus solely on using technology to replace humans without investing in training and skill development will end up with teams incapable of effectively leveraging artificial intelligence. In summary, the AI revolution is proving more nuanced than initially expected. Rather than a simple story of replacement and cost savings, successful implementation appears to require thoughtful integration with human expertise, realistic cost assessments, and sustained investment in people. Many leading companies are learning this lesson. Bottom line, gains come slowly because every link needs strengthening, but risks can arrive fast. One weak link is enough to break the chain. The AI revolution will be big, but it won't be a simple press button and restart the world moment. The real speed depends on how long it takes to fix the slowest, messiest parts. That's it for today. If you want early access, join the channel membership. See you next time.